Hello, this is LomeVision as far as I can tell. Crinkling sounds, crinkling everywhere. Not everywhere, just as I sit down, so I got crinkling stuff in my pocket. It's time to get the rear brakes replaced on this vehicle. I don't know what happened within having about a year and 28 days later with the brakes going completely kerplunk, other than that one vehicle mishap where I hit black ice and ditched this car and was lucky to not hit a tree or anything like that. I was reimbursed by towing when I had it towed out of the ditch. I was basically like this far away from a set of trees and my vehicle was ditched, and I might have nudged my whole driving system, tire, wheel, bearing, rotor, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Might have been nudged a bit, so call me perpendicular if you want to. I have to hear that quite a lot, but that's okay about being perpendicular. But as perpendicular as I am, I'm just getting the rear brakes replaced and everything, so having a lot of El Casio that would be going to like music stuff and video editing stuff, but that's okay. With a will, there is a way, and I have like 50 wills because there's that many names that I can find myself having a history of using. Alright, let's not DIE. I'm in town. I was gonna walk the railroad tracks today and everything, but the CDC is parked there and everything like that. I had a lot of people, I had a train, like a little mini work train, stop before and talk to me, and they weren't even upset I was like walking the railroad tracks or anything, which was nice. But I'm not about to go and, you know, bluster up a situation and all that kind of thing. By the way, welcome to LomeVision on LomeVision. I'm gonna re-upload a bunch of things that were probably scenarios of me being in a detriment state of my life, but whatever, I'll let it all be, because I just want to show every avenue of you know, spaces of kind of thinking and getting, I don't want to say getting through life, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? It's almost like, the thing is though, hitting up pretty much every red light. So I was gonna walk down to here, and that would have taken like several hours and everything, and do what I needed to do, doing it that way. But that's not the case. So, because of seeing the person at the railroad on shot, the on stop. But strange day. It feels like the sky could explode with an electric rainstorm and everything like that. I'll bet you one thing, I probably need the front brakes replaced too. I really bet you that. Something's probably screwed with the front ones too, but whatever. I have a Canon inkjet printer. I mean, can I just like print money and stuff, you know? Let's just do that. But anyhow, probably isn't the first thing uploaded to LomeVision. I used it before and everything like that. I don't know. I'm kind of like bludgeoning my music channel. You know, not everyone wants to hear about life ongoings on my music channel or whatever. So for one of the severely limited times in my life, I'm being mindful about content organization, you know. So, I don't know. It's kind of peaceful as far as sounds go today, which is interesting, because outside it's ravenously busy. There's a chalky chimney, gray, platted and smeared upon near all. So, that's nifty. Feels good to be in some well-fitting denim, though. You can really tell when you finally put a pair of real denim on, and then everything else you wear, if it's not real denim, doesn't fit and form to that nice way. I feel encouraged to take every step with a gallant ease. Imagine if I switched to comfortable footwear, the whole world experience would devastatingly change in a good way, I guess. But anyway, that's it. I'm alive. I'm doing what I do with the whole being alive thing. So, turning this way? Yeah, I guess, right? Sure. I'm going this way. I gotta go. I don't want to give away my immediate location. I just made it back inside, and then inside the car. As soon as I came outside of that building, the whole soundscape went from muted and delicately it was just, I don't know, delicate sound, and then everything, I came right out the door, everything was blaring. I'm hoping this person doesn't back into me. Thank you for not doing that. Okay, let's figure out how the LomeVision School for Non-Obscure Prosperity can find a gaining to be able to exfoliate all of the ravenous sin out of my being, or something like that. That would be a good start. One thing that was great was switching from the crud brand instant coffee stuff to a delicate experience of sweet wonder and everything. I don't know if anyone's gonna let me go or not here. It's a real tussle. I'm into the public arena of contagious extraneous energy, and that means that you pick up on a hell of a lot as far as the extraneous energy goes and everything like that. So I don't know if this person will let me go. Thank you. I'm gonna wave to them. Yeah, well, that was nice, I guess, you know. Oh man, dude, you gotta be, this place though, it's not dastardly to speak the obvious sometimes, you know. Turn it into a way of expression via lyric, I suppose, rather than in the real-time moment, but try to put off, you know, having an aneurysm in the meantime and everything. So I'm gonna take what's supposed to be the hush way around and see if that might do anything for my life. It says no turn on red at a road crossing, but if you were to turn on red, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna negate any possibility of being T-boned by a coal train or even a salt train. A lot of the trains around here, they don't just carry coal, but there's salt trains as well. They like to douse the roadways with salt so that it eats the bottom of your car until there's nothing. But so if I have my back brakes replaced and my front ones need to be replaced also, and this person's trying to get me into a wreck right now. Wow, they're eating soup while on their phone talking to the passenger while driving. So I didn't want to ruin their airplane experience, I suppose. Not that they give soup to people on an airplane unless you're really, you know, above high class. There's an old wreckage yard through there that if you like look through the fence, which is basically a bunch of spheres, a bunch of dots you can see through, you can see some cool terrain. It's one of my first experiences thinking I knew anything about photography, which I still sometimes think I might know a bit about it. I was checking that out, but it looks like they got completely done with it. They left the fence and a lot of demolished metal scrap pieces of bits and deterioration, finely jangled things that make the sounds of a pleasantry, if you like the raw tenacity via music like I do. I'm sure everyone else wants to hit people like me with a rubber mallet for performing, but I'm not completely in disagreement with that. Just kind of keep separate inklings among people with different interests is all. It all should be fair. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I'll get some more exciting stuff going on soon. I just need to drink like 5 more cups of coffee and everything, and stick my head underneath the Arctic cool somewhere. Probably just, reject the continuation of this lifestyle and live with penguins for the rest of my days. And polar bears too. Oh, hi, I'm back from the Arctic waters. I just spent 15 years hanging out with penguins and the polar bears too. That was a nice situation. Now I have nothing but the newspaper to read. And since I actually had a good mood going on today, I think I'm just going to take some of that tongue-colored putty. Oh, you know what, though? I think that the printing methods today, and you'll have to test this out for me, dear audience of audiences. Read this. Read this paper. I'm not reading that. Well, that was a distressful situation in my world. I'm never going to read a paper again in my life. No, I don't think that you can take that putty and press it onto the papers these days and get the, stretchable Garfield head. Or if you have sour taste, any of the Charles Schultz characters. Ugh. Their heads are already stretched. Look at them. Look at those heads. Those heads started out as real heads. The Charlie Brown characters. And then they already had been stretched via silly putty. You don't know what I'm talking about. You take that silly putty stuff and you press it down onto an old newspaper. But I think that the printing today doesn't transfer that way. I don't really care to test the theory out. Acquiring silly putty seems more difficult than going and getting those William Blake replacements. Now my brakes have the portrait of my brakes have the portrait of William Blake on the discs. It's sad to think what we're doing to the literary world these days. I don't encourage it, but it's happening, and I have to speak about it. So anyway, I gotta use this device here that's recording me. Apparently, it does a better job than this. I mean, you think this is okay? I got little dots here. They had a signature ability of authenticity. Those dots there. Wow, this is weird. Well, that comes up rather. Wow, that's strange. You gotta hit it too. You gotta hit this camera. You have to actually hit the focus on it, the lens focus. It'll lock up and then give you a lens error if you don't hit it every once in a while, and then you can re-engage. Uh-oh. Sorry, I just took a picture of my knee and didn't realize how filthy these denims are. Sure, they're real denim, but of course some of your favorite clothes, you decide to go and check underneath your car, or get up on a roof and put Flex Seal down, or climb a tree and it turns out to have pine tar and it sticks to you because you see, I told you right there, lens error. That's the one I chose to bring today because it's already a damaged camera. I kind of felt a little bit cautious of bringing a decent camera with me. I mean, I had the trap door. This wasn't me. This was like this when I bought the thing. Trust me, it was. But yeah, right here. Yeah. Can I log into LomeVision from here? Probably not. It's going to ask me for information I don't have. Otherwise, I could be on the move and edit this all together and then bore you with the mundanity of everything that's an in-between process. Because that's all this is. This is just an in-between process, you know. That's all it is. me being disheveled enough, you know? Yeah, I gotta use this device, so I'll see you in a few or something, maybe.